What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to another demo breakdown. Today we're going to be watching Faze reign on A site Mirage, and mainly what we're going to be looking at is why he's Faze's X factor in a lot of their close rounds. If you like this content and want to see more, go ahead and drop a like and a sub, and let's get right into it. Before we get into this, I just want to say I have already watched this demo. I recorded this whole video yesterday, and my mic wasn't working, so let's get right back into it, guys. From already watching this demo, I just want to say that Rain actually plays A, the perfect textbook A player, the exact way that you want to be playing A. Faze usually plays for mid or plays for A, the same theory that I was talking about in my earlier videos, and that's perfectly shown by this pistol round. They are playing no one on A site right now, but they're just playing for a B pop, and they're playing for Navi to go towards mid. So they hear the A smokes, they check towards underpass, Rain comes up over here, and he doesn't necessarily need to fight the A execute, because this is the whole point of the setup that they're playing. They're not playing on A. They can say, yeah, fine, go ahead and take A. We're not going to have anyone there that we need to help. We're just focusing on mid. We're trying to deny a split. So Rain's job here is just to play around the smokes, get a little bit of information. He doesn't want to die here. That's the main thing. And right here, he hears a guy running up con, but he's getting pressured by the sandwich player. And this is actually a good play from the sandwich player because when your teammate con is about to take contact is when you'd want to be peeking sandwich. So Rain is between a rock and a hard place right here. But look at Faze's setup. They have a guy in towards jungle. They have, I believe, Robson Stair, and Rain is right here, right? So if they come up towards con, they're going to be in a crossfire. If they come out towards A, they have to fight Rain. Jungle guy can trade. And they really only need Rain right here and this jungle player who I believe is Karrigan to be able to play this setup. So Rops is kind of just a bonus in here, and he's going to be the main player that they're setting up to get frags. So Rain's going to end up dying right now, but that's okay because Rops is in stair. They won't clear for him. Broky was the one in jungle. He ends up getting the kill. Rops dies, so he actually doesn't get any kills. But now look at the round, right? So Faze basically just played a good numbers setup. You just want to try and whittle down the numbers of the T's, and now they're in a 3v2 situation. Everyone was really tradable. No one could really get singled out. So this was a very solid round from Faze. Now Faze will end up losing this round, but Frozen hits some absolute blinders on these last two.
Oh my god.
And Frozen does a backflip. And now Faze are going to go for a force here. In the same way that Rain was kind of the bait in top jungle area, he's going to be playing that kind of role where he's kind of baiting for his teammates a lot of these rounds. He's just going to be trying to take the attention away from his teammates, kind of play like the bullet sponge essentially, and get the rest of his team kills. So Faze are opting for a close A setup. It makes sense they would put Rain close. Rain is the A player, so if they kill him, no surprise really. If they were to take contact on someone else first, then they'd be like, okay, yeah, the cat player is towards A, so they're probably on an A stack, so that's why they put Rain in towards ramp. I believe it's Broky. Broky is also spotting this, so if they try to do an A execute or try to just take in ramp control, maybe catch an A lurk, then this is a pretty high percentage setup. And now look at what they're doing as well. So Frozen's on balcony and Rops is on balcony as well. So what they're going to do here is they're going to push Palace and insert Frozen into Palace. What this will now do is if Navi were to come towards A, now they have a guy in Palace, they have a guy close ramp. If they try and go through ramp and they kill Rain, they'll be like, okay, yeah, we killed the close A player, but little do they know, Frozen's already in Palace. So if they try to do an execute and they end up getting onto site, or they try and do a split, they'll be aware of Rain and ramp. They'll kill the close ramp player. Yo, we killed the close ramp player. There's a guy in Palace. So you didn't really do anything. So Rain's going to end up pushing towards ramp because Navi took connector control. And because they took connector control, you can assume that the majority of the numbers on Navi are going to be towards mid. So Rain is looking to maybe get one kill on a lurk or possibly meet two people. If he goes 1 for 1, it's still okay because his team is stacked towards A. And look at the information this does for his team. So he gets in towards close ramp. And now Frozen and Rops can kind of just play around jungle, play around con to deny the split on A. And Bit's going to make a big mistake here. So Bit jumped up on the bench to try and get in towards window. So that's information now for Rops and Frozen to push con. And the reason why is because if Navi were trying to do a split, if there's a guy close window or on the window ledge, which they heard him jump to, you now know that if they try and split towards A, they're going to be one number weaker because Bit is now in towards window. So this is when they want to fight con. This is when they want to fight towards mid. And this will actually end up winning them the round. Rops picks up Ema. Broky ends up killing Bit on the window ledge. And as this was going on, Alexi B was in ladder. Karrigan walks up close towards ladder, shoots Alexi B in the side of the head. And now on pretty much pistols and 1 4-spot M4, they have turned a full bot T round into a 2v5. Now this entire time, Rain had all of ramp control. Now he just has to rotate. Karrigan ends up getting a kill towards apps. Last player is in apps. And Broky's going to end up taking him down. So the reason why Faze had all of this space to work with, all of this information, is because they knew nobody was ramp, they knew an A hit isn't coming soon, and they knew that this was their time to be able to get free kills in mid. Now, round number 3, look at what Rain is doing here. So he's the solo A player, the same concept I talked about in my Mirage video. He's just going to jump spot. He's going to play for retake. He doesn't want to commit his life into sight. And the reason why is because if he ends up dying, look at where his team is, right? You have 3 people towards mid. If the T's do a palace pop or a ramp pop or something, they throw right side smokes and lock out your team. They can take all of CT control, and now this round gets very, very sticky from the CT's perspective. So he's just playing very standard, trying to live. If they end up coming out towards A, he might try and play for frags because he knows he has a better gun. But look at the jump spot that he's doing as well. He's jump spotting so that if someone peeks ramp, they only see his head for about half a second, and that's an extremely hard 1v from JL to hit. So this kind of jump spot basically ensures that there's no way that you're going to get picked on A for free. Notice how he's also spotting Palace while he's doing this. He's going wide enough to see Palace and then jumping a little late while he's swinging back so that his head isn't shown for a while. Kills go down on mid. He smokes in towards ramp. He ends up picking up JL towards Palace. And now it's a 4v1. They don't really have to worry about too much. Rain's going to go hunting for frags, and he actually will get punished for it here. So round number 3, he knows that JL saw him jump spotting towards Ticket. He knows that he saw Rain playing retake on A when the rest of his team was fighting for mid. So it looks like Faze are going to go for another kind of mid fight or towards B stack. He doesn't want the T's to be like, oh yeah, you know, Rain's just playing retake on A. Rain knows they bought last round, so he wants to play in sight and deny the plant. And this is okay playing in sight when you're solo towards A, but you want to be aware that you should only do this once the T's have seen you playing retake, because that's when they won't expect you in towards close A. So after long enough, Faze have all of mid right now. So they're going to rotate Rops over. They really only need 2 people to play in towards mid when the T's are on a low buy. So Navi ends up going towards A, and again, Rain knows that they should be on pretty much full Glock, so he's okay to take these fights with the MP9. With some support from Rops from Stair, Rain can just take the high percentage fights on ramp, which he's okay with doing. Although his teammates can't really trade this angle if he ends up dying, there's a low chance he dies because, again, he's against Glocks. Frozen picks up the last kill, and that's the 3rd round for Faze. So another round where Rain is playing retake on A because the rest of his team is over towards mid. Look at the setup. 1 B player, 1 cat player, 1 con player, 1 window player. This would be considered fighting on mid. This is just a standard default, and from standard defaults on CT side, you really should be fighting for mid. So he's just going to play back on A, and notice how he's playing retake here. He's playing it from Stair. This is becoming more meta in the pro scene because jump spotting CT to play retake on A is extremely standard. If they come out A and they see you jump spotting CT, everyone's been in that scenario hundreds if not thousands of times. So playing retake A from Stair just adds more question marks in the T's heads, and it gives them a scenario that they might not be familiar with. So Navi ends up going for a B pop. Rain will pick up the rest of his team's mid while they're fighting towards B, so that if there is a mid lurk, Rain can take first contact. They do have man advantage, so even if Rain dies, it's not a huge deal because now you have information on 1 player, and you have 3 people on B site with bomb. Now at this point, they know that Navi is going to probably try to save, so Rain wants to get ahead of the curve and get behind them before they could even get towards, you know, to saving in ramp, saving in palace, saving towards top mid. So Rain is just playing the containment game here and just locking Navi into apps, which ends up getting him this first kill. And now he knows it's a 4v1. He has an MP9. If he dies, kind of sucks, kind of doesn't, because he's going to rebuy an M4 anyway or pick up the gun off of Alexi B. So it's not a huge deal if he dies here. Also, he has an MP9. Running shooting is good, so he's going to end up swinging towards Wonderful here and picking up this kill. So round number 6 now. Looks like Faze are going to fight on mid again. Rain is going to go ahead and molly ramp, flash over mid. He's going to play retake from spawn again. And he's just probably going to start doing his jump spot thing. Because although the T's know he'll probably be here, it's still very high percentage. There's still a low chance you die here. And look at what Faze are doing. So they're playing retake on A and they're playing retake on mid. The theory behind this is that if Navi take mid, they can assume that Faze are playing on an A setup. They're not playing on an A setup. They're playing retake on mid and playing retake on A. Generally, this would be bad, but if you're playing a team like Navi who knows the map theory, knows what you generally should be doing, this is going to actually give them a false confidence on mid and gear them up to more likely hit towards cat, try and do an A split, maybe boost window, that kind of thing, and that's why Broky's holding window boost, Rops is dealing with con, and Frozen's dealing with cat. So Rain gets to play a very exciting round because all of Navi is in mid, so Rain just gets to jump spot for the entire round. It's basically an A anchor simulator. Rops gets hit to 1 HP, so now Rain has to smoke towards top con. Rops moves in towards sandwich, and again, when you're low HP, you want to either play headshot angles or you want to play in a place where you'll surprise the T and he won't be looking at you, because if he won't be looking at you, it doesn't matter if you have 100 HP or 1 HP. You have a free kill either way. So there goes the top con smoke. Rain drops a nade towards bottom con. And Navi are trying to do a cat split like I was talking about earlier. So Rain spams towards cat, picks up 1 kill, ends up picking up a second on bomb. And this is what I mean by Rain isn't necessarily going to be a crazy round deciding player, but he is almost the perfect support player. He does everything properly. He always thinks about what the other team has seen him doing and switches it up to try and confuse them. Pretty much everything he does is by the book. Frozen picks up the last, and that's the 5th round for Faze. So now they're doing 2 towards A. Broky's going to go in towards Palace, and notice what they're doing here. Broky's going to opt towards Palace. He's going to be the one mauling ramp, because if someone's going to die first on A, it's probably going to be Broky because he's in towards Palace. So he wants to get that util off before he ends up dying if he were to die. Rain is also throwing the A flashes like he normally does when he's playing retake on A. So from the T's perspective, this just looks like he's playing retake on A again, and Faze are probably fighting on mid. Also, because Rain's been jump spotting CT, it's very common that if the T's see you jump spotting CT, they'll send a guy towards Palace so he can just listen and communicate to his team. So by jump spotting CT in the previous rounds and having Navi see that he was doing that, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who told Broky opt Palace this round. After he throws the nades, he goes back spawn to pick up a flash because they do have a lot of money here, so they can drop flashes and spawn. He smokes towards ramp, and he gets closer in towards A site. And the reason why he's doing this is because it's somewhat quiet in mid. Yes, Navi have mid, but they slowed it down. They haven't really given a ton of information away. So if they were to do an A pop, he doesn't want Broky to be on an island in Palace. And actually, if they do an A pop and Broky gets his first kill in Palace, Broky can run into Palace, and now Rain is default. So the T's are going to come out trying to look towards under Palace or top Palace, try and find Broky. And Rain can just hide. If Navi were to go A here, Rain can just hide default until the T's press into sight and probably won't be looking at him and just pick off a few free kills. So now that Rain has naded towards bottom con, this will give information from the Palace guy. Hey, this guy's probably playing in towards close A. Anyone from mid will say, yes, they're probably playing in towards close A because of where that nade came from, which again should be baiting a Palace player to play in towards close Palace because there is a CT close ramp. So if his team ends up coming towards con, he wants to be quick on this trade on the default guy, and it works. It ends up getting JL to peek Palace, but Broky misses his shots. And this ends up being a free kill for JL. Now Rain is stuck default. They know he's close default. He just mollied. So the Palace player is like, yes, this guy is 100% close default. And now Rain has to play kind of safe. He doesn't really want to play where the T's know that he is. So he's just going to move around the site and try and not get seen from the T's. Maybe pick off someone who's coming in towards site. He ends up doing that by getting the jungle player. And the jungle player was very unaware of him. And the reason why is because he has a Lexi B in towards close triple. And look at what Rain does here. As soon as he lets the T's know, hey, I'm default by getting that kill, as soon as Wonderful shoots, he's going to shift to under Palace to change his position, which actually ends up winning his team the round because Alexi B is going to come up triple, looking to try and kill Rain on default, and this is going to be a free kill for Karrigan. Now that Rain's in towards under Palace, they again didn't know that he had moved. He could have been fireboxed. He could have still been default because Alexi didn't really see him default, but he didn't peek too far to be able to see default before he died from Karrigan. So Rain gets the kill on Wonderful in Sandwich, and now they're in a 2v1 from a 3v2. Right? Karrigan and Rain play off of each other, and these are the rounds that I'm talking about as an anchor. He plays almost perfectly by the book. Oh, they know I'm here, time to switch up my position, maybe try and pick off one on the execute. He is doing everything perfectly here. Now we're into the 8th round, Rain mollies towards ramp, and Navi looks like they're trying to either lurk towards B or go towards mid, but they are on deagles. They're just kind of looking for picks. And something that's very important is look how Rain is playing retake on A right now. This is not a very common angle you'll fight late in the round as a T, right? Because this is a low percent angle. If there's a guy Palace and a guy ramp and an A pop comes in, this guy's in the middle of nowhere. And the reason for Rain is that he got contact on towards mid in the form of his teammates, so he knows that there are a couple people towards mid. The chance that there's going to be more towards A is probably going to be lower. Palace is smoked, and if they are going to go towards A, they're not going to expect this angle. This could be a free kill for Rain if they come towards ramp. This is another huge thing that Rain does. He flashes in towards ramp because he hasn't seen anyone cross late and there was contact on mid. So he knows Navi probably don't have ramp information. If they're in mid or T-spawn or something and they hear a flash in ramp, Faze probably pushed towards ramp. Now we have to go somewhere else. And again, he is pretty much the solo A player. So he doesn't really want them to go A. He wants them to go mid or he wants them to go B into Karrigan because Karrigan's pushed towards apps. And they have pretty much 4 players towards mid. Rain will shift again into playing retake A from stair. And this makes sense because most of his team is playing on towards mid. They end up getting smoked top con. Rain comes back to check towards A. Now he heard 2 guns shoot in mid. He can just go towards jungle, hold for window boost. He sees a guy ladder, takes a couple fights, and now Rops kind of griefed Rain a little bit. So Rops let them up con. He probably could have calmed that, right? I'm assuming that bit walked up towards con, so Rops didn't really know. But now Rops is in the con smoke, and because they killed a jungle player and a window player, they can expect that the other player will be towards A. Rops knows this, so he's going to let all of the T's pass, and he'll end up getting 2 free kills right here. I think if Bit ended up getting this kill, he probably could still get plant and possibly win the 1v1, but Rops just takes the fight anyway. And that's a 7th round for Faze, and none of this is anything crazy, right? everything that Rain is doing to set up his team is extremely normal. Extremely normal. It's just that Na'Vi are playing slow defaults and Rain is playing the percentages off of those slow defaults. And like I said in my previous videos, this is what Pro CS is. Everyone is playing the best percentages they know, the best percentages they have to win the round, in their micro decisions, in their macro decisions, in their utility, in every facet of the game. They're playing the best percentages they know to be able to beat the Ts. So this round, for example, they double naden towards close ramp. This gives information from the Ts. Hey, we're playing double on A. And now that the execute comes in, they can just drop a molly, and this kind of is a fake, right? Na'Vi are just throwing this to see what the CTs are doing, and they did their job, right? So Na'Vi now knows there's 2 towards close A. They're playing for close ramp because they smoked it on the execute, so there's probably a couple players in close. What this also means is Frozen's already used his smoke on Palace, and Rain has already used his smoke on ramp. So if they do a re-execute on A, Faze isn't going to have a ton of utility to hold it, which is exactly what's going to end up happening. Molly comes in towards under Palace, and any A player, you should know this. If they molly under Palace, most of the time you can hop on top of this brick under Palace, and you won't get ticked by the molly. Rain's going to use this and end up picking the first kill. He gets instantly traded, but he does have Frozen on top Valk. Rops comes through the jungle smoke and gets one as well. And in basically 3 seconds, Na'Vi have taken a 5v5 where you know where essentially 3 of the players on the CT's positions are and turned it into a 2v4. So I think if Na'Vi were to run this round again, they should do it as more of an execute. They didn't really do an execute here. They threw execute smokes, but they played it like a pop. And the whole reason why you would want to go A is because the CTs don't have any util. So you want to throw util, let it do its job, and then you go out, because the CTs will be forced out of positions. For instance, off of the under Palace molly, you know they're close A. There's probably a guy on top Valk if you molly under Palace and you know they're close A. So Na'Vi kind of shot themselves in the foot this round. And just like that, it's another round for Faze. Now, round number 10 I skipped because Na'Vi ended up going towards B, so there's nothing really for Rain to do. But now that we're in round number 11, Rain will be playing retake from A from stair again. He mollies in ramp, he nades in ramp, he smokes in Palace. He's just denying A early into the round so that they can get more information in mid and paint a better picture of what Na'Vi are doing. And look at the angle that he's playing. Again, this is another scenario where players probably won't be here late round. So Rain is trying to pick off a T who's not expecting this angle, which is actually what happens in this round. JL drops in towards ramp, and this ends up being a free kill for Rain, but he only drops in towards ramp after his team takes contact on mid. JL now drops in towards ramp, Rain takes this off angle, gets the free kill, and just like that, a 5v3 that would have been if Rain wasn't playing the way he was on A is now a 5v2, and this is almost a 100% round win if you play your cards right. So this is what I mean by Rain being an X factor on Faze. He's not doing the hero plays. He's not winning your team rounds by getting like 4 kills on an execute. He's just doing his job, getting his one, and playing properly to try and get his team into better scenarios. Faze secure that round. They just trade 1-for-1 on the last 2 players. They win it with 3 people alive. And now the last round of the half, Rops is going to molly ramp. Rain's going to play close towards A. He's going to nade close ramp again like he's always been doing. And I think the nading ramp like this is probably an anti-strat. There is an AI anti-strat tool in the pro scene right now that's being used, and that's why you'll see some pro teams firing their analysts, is because this AI tool can basically spit out information on the other team if you feed it a few demos, and it will just give you a perfect anti-strat for what you can use for the other team. I haven't used it myself, but I've talked to people who have used it before, and the pro scene right now is kind of a mix between playing percentage CS and also playing perfect anti-strats that are spit out by this AI tool. So I don't normally see solo A players nading in close ramp, because generally this will kind of be bad if the Ts were going to do an A execute. They smoke the ramp molly, they end up popping out, they throw flashes and everything, and now you're stuck towards close A. But I would assume that the reason why he's doing this is because it's an anti-strat. Percentage-wise, this isn't the best if you're solo towards A, especially when the rest of your team is extremely slow on rotates like they are right now. They have 2 on mid, they have 1 guy towards window. So I don't know if I'd recommend you guys taking this into your games, but it's more just food for thought. He's going to rip another molly close ramp and play behind default. Rops has rotated back towards stairs, so now they are double A, which is okay. Rops has gotten into sandwich, but no Na'Vi players are over towards A, so we can kind of just speed up this round. Now, because normally after the T's smoke bottom con and it fades, what they're going to do is they're either going to try and smoke top con and go up cat, or they're going to smoke on cat or smoke in con and try and go up towards A. So Rain is just denying this immediate threat. Now Rain is in a 2v3 scenario. Rain gets towards the trash can, and Rops is 1 HP here, so Rain kind of needs to win this round for his team. Rops isn't really going to be a factor. He isn't going to get a 3k that will win you the round. Rops shouldn't be baiting Rain. Rain should be baiting Rops, which is kind of what he's trying to do. If anyone were to swing Van Pillar and peek Rops, maybe Rain could pick off this kill, but he ends up getting one tapped by JL. But just because those little things that Rain has done, he secured his team a 10-2 CT side, and he didn't really play lights out. Yes, he's 12-7, which is a good scoreline, but it's not, and he didn't do anything crazy. He didn't really make any crazy plays, he just played percentage CS. This is why Rain is probably one of the best players you can watch as an up-and-coming player, because he does everything properly. And I just wanted to show you guys in this demo breakdown how to play A-Site, and how to play A-Site from one of the best A-Site players in the pro scene right now, who does everything correctly. If you guys want to see more content like this, don't forget to drop a like and a sub. I do coaching over on my Twitch that I'll link down below. If you want to book a session, I will also link my Metafy down below. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.